Now that I'm done with Battle Bond, and I think I'm pretty much done with Battle Bond for good, I want to move on to doing Brawl and Commander standard only builds between now and when Ravnica 3, whatever it's called, comes out in October. This is the time of the year that I love the most because there are 8 sets in standard. Now in this particular standard, we have 3 small sets. In the next standard, when Ravnica 3 rolls in, that one's only going to have 1 small set and 7 large sets. And then the standard when Ixalan finally rolls off, it'll be Ravnica 3, M20, and then whatever comes a year after. So it'll be summer of 2020. That standard, if the current plan continues, will be the first standard with 8 large sets. That should be amazing. So I took my commanders that I wanted to build Brawl decks with. I had a commander build for this one. I already had 120 cards that I was going to make a build with a little bit of infect and whatnot. But I changed my mind. I'm going to do that later because I want to pull more from some of these sets. And I want to buy a few singles as they rotate out as the year goes by heading into December. So I've chosen the remaining commanders that I have. Now I've already built a commander deck on this one, but I'm going to build a Brawl deck for it. I think I put one of these in the Joyride deck. I think I'm going to build one just for this card. Brawl is going to go in here because I'm finding, and I'll show you guys my builds either in this video or the next one. Brawl, even with 7 sets, can get limited in the way Battle Bond builds got limited, where basically the build comes just from whatever is available and the deck builds itself. So we'll see about that. Definitely gonna build an Embalm, Eternize, is that what it's called? Eternalize? Things that come from the graveyard and become tokens is what this dude is for. I've already built this one in Commander. This should be a pretty straightforward Brawl deck. I haven't built a Commander deck for this guy, or girl, or it. I don't know, we'll see what happens. Kind of looks like a dude, but it could be a really strong woman. Anyways, build another one for this guy. I don't know about this guy. I had a bad experience already, or like a failed experience with Pia. I tried to make a Brawl deck out of Pia. It looked like crap. It was worthless. So I may have the same problem with Ovilla, in which case I'm going to put her in with Shana. Of course, I already talked about this dude. I really want to build with this one. And the same here. But I need more Almond Cat and more Hour of Devastation. And I do need more Dominaria. But Dominaria is now being printed into Oblivion, so I'm going to wait for those boxes to come down. So this is basically my Brawl Commander standard setup for the summer. So I built this deck, haven't played it yet, and I'll show it in a separate video. I'll show these decks in a separate video. I really want to show what's in these boxes quickly. I don't want to. I'm going to be done in 15 minutes. Then I build this deck also. I'm going to play it. I've already built the decks in online, Magic Online. They're a little different in Magic Online, most of them, but they're roughly the same deck. Same with a Ubuntu deck, monocolor. So I've gone through the 5 colors in here, and I'll show you my build stash. Now this dude, Valduk, man, this one, I don't know, it may end up getting a whole video all to himself. I played it. I beat one of our friends online who are using all their money pimped up cards to make Brawl as unfun as possible for us casuals, us filthy casuals. This one was a failure. There just aren't enough elves. And so I'm finding that Brawl for tribal is gonna be a summer thing. You're not gonna be able to build any kind of tribal deck, say like when Ravnica 3 comes out and you only have 5 sets in standard. I don't know, maybe, no, not really, because when you do like dinosaurs, you're just not gonna have enough white dinosaurs. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about that one as well. This entire selection right here is 5 boxes. The 5 decks that I just showed you come out to 2,129 cards. Now they're in order this way. So when I build a deck, I start here, go here, go here, go here, go here. And if by the time I'm in the 5th box, I don't have a complete deck, I go back and I do another cycle. Maybe I go, oh, I was looking at this, but I changed my mind. So this first box is all Kaladesh Aether Revolt commons. Okay, that's all they are. Of course, there's a ton of artifacts in here. I still need to pull a little more, but I have, from my counts, 827 cards from that block. Okay, so it's this box. Yeah, this video is not going to be too long because I'm only just like showing you guys how I do it. Then this box is all Almancat and Hour of Devastation commons, which I don't really have a ton of. I think I want to pull a little more. I only have a total of 624 Almancat cards, Almancat block cards. And then these I foiled, sleeved, I always say foiled. I sleeved all the uncommons, so I'll look through these and pick out cards for decks. And then the third box, these are unnumbered. They're going to get numbered only when I'm done with them. And I put them in storage, as you've seen in my other playlist. Then this one is all sleeved Kaladesh. I did pull a lot of Kaladesh and Aether Revolt, even though I'm going to pull even more. Oh, here's a lost Almancat card. Oh, what are those Almancat cards doing there? Okay, I have an ordering problem. I put them in the wrong place when I was building some decks just now. Okay, these don't go here. These go back here. So I've got a few uncommons from Almancat, and then all this is Kaladesh and Aether Revolt with something to just hold them together. That's box 3. Then after I go through box 3, I go through the leftovers from building the Commander Tribal decks for Ixalan. And I also have in here a little packet. Let me see, where is it? Okay, so these are the uncommons and rares and mythic rares, a few. And then these are all commons for Ixalan. Right here. All commons from Ixalan. I don't have enough. I need to pull a lot more. But I've got 2 road trips down in the summer, July and August, where I do my roadway pulls, my road trip pulls. And then finally, I've got some Dominaria. And of course, it's pretty thinned out by now because if you guys have seen other videos, I've been building a lot of Dominaria. And I've got a separate little thing like this just for the cartouches and the trials. I love these cards. And I want to pull a gazillion more, and I want to put them in 2-color and 3-color decks. So, and then I still have some for when I eventually end up making full Commander decks where I go in my entire stash. But the summer is going to be mostly Brawl, Commander, Standard, everything in Standard until the 4 sets rotate out. Then I'll buy singles for all the cards that I don't have, and then juice up those decks on their way out, shelve them, and then get started with Ravnica 3, buy more Ixalan, buy more Dominaria. Of course, M19 is coming out, and M19 is gonna show up in a lot of these decks. Okay, so that's just showing you guys my setup, and I think I have time to very quickly go through the 5 monocolor decks that I just built. So in the case of Okitra, it's not such a great deck. I pulled the white zombies, and the white zombies in Almancat are really not that great. I mean, they help each other a little, but they're not fantastic. So I've done that. Put a little bit of other cards. Okitra wants to have, you want to have 3 creatures on the board, and yes, you can create tokens. So you want to have things that drop tokens. So for example, this card is good. It dies, leaves behind a token. Let me see other cards. This one, when it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked and you're going to have to kick it, you're going to get tokens. You want to have presence on the board so you can keep attacking. I did put this mythic rare in here. And I put my History of Benalia in this deck. But again, these are sketch decks. They're not really the final thing. But definitely in this deck I'm going to be dropping tokens. Just to make Okitra happy and be able to attack. Kefnet is all about keeping things in your hand and making sure you have 7 or more cards in hand. 7 because I don't have anything in here that makes my hand infinite, but we're going to have Reliquary Tower coming out in M19, so it's going to go in this deck. So it's got a few artifacts, not that many, just enough artifacts to be historic, kind of. And of course the artifacts are all about drawing cards and stabilizing how many lands you have. That's it. Really, where this deck shines, in my opinion, is it's really on the control side of the spectrum. Definitely on the control side of the spectrum, with a full suite of counter spells and draw cards. You're going to counter spells and draw cards as much as you can. And then your creatures are kind of lame because you're in blue, but I gear them to anything that could draw me cards or anything that could hold off the opponent while I have the 7 cards in hand so that this dude can attack, because he's a 5/5 flying indestructible. So you want the dude to attack by keeping those 7 cards in hand. So you want things that replace themselves or things that are great. But see, when it enters the battlefield, you draw a card, so it replaces itself. So I tried to find as many of those as I could. There just aren't enough. So again, these decks are all incomplete. And eventually, a trick that I was already thinking of doing is I could put these in a white-blue deck. 36 is 72. All I need is 60. And I can winnow this down to a commander deck. So we'll see how that goes. But I think I'm going to try to do that. Then Bontu, which I already have pulled in another deck. This one is also fairly weak. It's a sketch deck. It's sacking, so Bontu's going to be sacking your creatures. So you want to also have tokens to sack, and you want to have things that like to be sacked in some cases. I'm not there yet with this deck also. It's only a sketch. So yeah, if you sack this dude, you get a 2/2 zombie back. So that's what I was trying to do, but this deck needs a little more, and I hope M19 can give it to it, and also additional pulls that I make over the summer. There's my one fatal push. I put it in here. I also put some foils in these decks. I'm not sure how, as they evolve, what I'm going to do with them. Am I going to leave them as decks, or am I going to put them in some kind of a draftable cube? The Valduk deck is a beast. Total beast. Of these 5 decks, the Valduk deck is the only one that's really good, and it just beats face so hard, so fast. I can draw cards, I can fling one of the 3/1 tokens. Yeah, it's just beastly. Really great deck. I will feature it. I'll go deep with this deck when M19 comes out. Right now, it's also a sketch, but by far the best one of the 5. Way good. Of course, the elf deck just isn't there. I had to put cards that were not elves because I ran out of elves to put in. I had to put elves that I wouldn't put in an elf deck that care about multicolored. When you're in here, you're in green. So this is not a good elf deck in my opinion. I've played dual deck elves a ton, so I know what a really good elf deck feels like. This is not going to be it, friends. So I'm going to be working on these. So to summarize what I've shown you, I've shown you my sketches, my sketch Brawl decks, some more commanders that I want to build out in the near future, and my setup of 2,129 cards. A lot of comments, a lot of jank, casual stuff. Have fun.